So I just did this whole worksheet thinking that it was recording and it wasn't, but I can show you what I got here, okay? And we'll talk about it. So I think that these are really straightforward. If you don't know that heterozygous means other and there's one of each, then we're in trouble. That's one of your vocabulary words. You've got to know that for Friday. Homozygous means the same. And also another word for homozygous is purebred, and another word for heterozygous is hybrid. And remember, you can pause this video anytime through. And if I make any mistakes, please let me know so I can let everybody know. So purple flowers are dominant to white. That means these guys are purple. The only way to get white is lowercase p, lowercase p. Brown eyes are dominant to blue. This is not in a human, because if it was in a human, there are lots more things going on than just two alleles. But in this case, big B is brown, big B, little b is brown, little b is blue. This is going the opposite direction. Okay, and bobtails are recessive to long tails, so that means big T is long, big T is long. And the only way to get the bobtail is for it to be homozygous recessive or little b. Actually, you know, this probably isn't bad because I can see what I'm doing except for my arm and except for the fact that everything's wonky. Oh, but isn't that true? Everything's wonky. All right, so the phenotypes that are here, you're supposed to list the genotype, and you're going to use the letter of the dominant trait. So if straight hair is dominant, we're going to use S for straight. I've seen people using H for hair. That's the characteristic, not the trait. S for straight, big S is straight, big S is straight, little s is curly. Now over here, tail spikes are dominant to plain tails. Tails is the trait, big T would be for the, tails is the characteristic, plain and tall are the traits. So we don't use, we wouldn't use T, we would use S. So spikes, big S means spikes, homozygous dominant. Big S, little s means spikes, heterozygous, and little s is the homozygous recessive. Okay, Punnett squares. Big R crossed with little r. That's what it would look like. And let me check it. 50% of the offspring could be round. Remember, the Punnett square is just a predictor. For the next one, big R, little r. That's the Mendelian first generation cross. And you'll get about 75% of the offspring will be whatever big R is, round. And then here's the last one, and there's no way to get anything other than round. There's no way to get wrinkled from this particular cross. All right, so let me put this away. Remember, you can always pause. This might even be working better than me talking and writing. So at this point, you guys, maybe you don't even need to show your work. A big T plant is crossed with a little t plant, and you know they're all going to be. And this could here probably shouldn't be could. It probably could be would. Cross between a big T plant and a big T plant, you're going to get that same Mendelian cross. When we cross two heterozyguses, we get 25% of the recessive trait percentage and 75% of the dominant trait. And remember, again, this is a prediction, it's a percentage, it's a probability. Heterozygous round, crossed with a homozygous round, heterozygous round, big R, little r, crossed with a big R. They're looking for what could be homozygous. Remember, big R, homozygous, 50%. Homozygous round, crossed with a homozygous wrinkled. Those are the genotypes of the parents. What percentage of the offspring will also be homozygous? 0%, because they're all going to be big R, little r, or heterozygous. And they're all going to be round. Remember, round is the phenotype, big R, little r is the genotype. Genotype is the genes. Phenotype is the physical expression of the genes. Pea plants, purple flowers are dominant to white. Two white are crossed. You're going to get a little r crossed with a little r, and you're going to get, oh, heck, all little r's. This one gets kind of messy. These should be peas that look like this, kind of like so that we make sure that we know, you know, when you're using S's or C's or P's, you want to make sure. L's are awful. L's are awful. Anyway, so 50%, two plants are both heterozygous, big P, little p, we cross them, and 75% of them could have purple flowers and 25 could have white. Allele for short hair is dominant. Big S, little s is the heterozygous. Genotype for homozygous is pure breeding. So that's big S, big S. And a purebred long-haired pig would be little s, little s. So homozygous recessive or purebred recessive. That's the cross. That's the answer. The end. Ask me questions. Please ask me questions. The quiz is going to have you're going to need to do Punnett squares. You're going to need to know vocabulary because I'm going to give you a Punnett square that's complete. I'm going to ask you phenotypes and genotypes. I'm also going to give you, if I can figure out how to do it, a hoodleary. I'm going to give you an empty Punnett square. But I'll let you know that tomorrow once I figure out if I can figure it out. Anyway, talk to you later. Bye.